It never rained. Well, hardly ever. This place was forsaken in every way imaginable, and the dry, heat-blasted ground rarely felt the cool caress of liquid. This wasn't normal rain either, or what passed for normal when such an event is so rare. The rain lacked the unpleasant sting of acid, drawn from the highly polluted atmosphere. This was real rain, and it felt good, cleansing. Soon life would return to the barren landscape. Hardy plants would attempt to flood the valley with colour before returning to hibernation until the rain came again. But life came sooner than the plant life could stir. Creatures emerged from shelter, drawn by the cool, refreshing liquid falling from the sky. The creatures varied in size, from small scorpions and mammals to the great sandworms, but none made their presence known as much as a group of green-skinned monstrosities. They emerged from a small cave, dancing and gibbering in some unintelligible tongue. They were larger than a man, far broader. Their skin patchworks of piercings and tattoos. Virtually all had small bones thrust roughly through holes in their noses and ears. One produced a crude drum, and the noise increased. The monsters became more and more focused on the boisterous dance steps, howling thanks to their crude gods. The creatures became so loud and so focused on their activities, they didn't hear the faint, distant noise, not until the buzz became a roar that meant death. Within moments, the ground was stained green with blood, all while the pitter-patter of the rain was silent, as the roar became a buzz and faded into the background once again. Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by and for returning to the Orc world, or more correctly, the far, far future. Today, a casual player's view of Warp Talons in Warhammer 40,000 from the Chaos Space Marine book. I've had a little bit of experience of using them now and just thought I'd record my thoughts. As always, if there's any thoughts on how I could use them better or something I've missed, do let me know in the comments below. So what's the purpose of this unit? Well, they're a very quick unit, being able to fly and having jump packs, and they have an absolute barrel load of strength 4 attacks. Usual power armor save with the Demonkin Unvun as well. This strikes me as making them really useful at dealing with light infantry, particularly masses of light infantry. In my experience, Armour of Contempt can be a bit of a problem for them. Yes, it helps them protect against incoming attacks, but it does weaken the strength of their blows, and although there are rerolls involved which help temper the strength 4, I have found that bouncing is definitely a thing, and obviously they will bounce off their target, not kill enough of them or destroy it, just at the crucial moment when they need to get that sorted. Now, because they can't get the marks of chaos as well to give them boosts, I think this means using them out of the box, and you have to think very carefully about how these units are being deployed, what they're trying to achieve. And I think they either need to, be held back and be used very carefully, or get some direct support. Now, the fact that the Raptor Lord is no longer a thing is probably problematic for Warp Talons, because I think some extra rerolls and maybe a character that can keep up and give them a little bit of extra punching power, either with a ranged weapon or just a big melee weapon, a big axe or something, power fists, whatever, would give them a little bit of an edge, but that obviously no longer an option. Does remain, however, within this that they are, with their speed, useful for nabbing distant objectives and causing your opponent a bit of a headache of fast units moving around that could attack him from the rear and undermine what they're looking to do if they're trying to move forward. Overall, I've not found a consistent use for them where they're really helpful in my army. As I say, I have seen them have a bit of a tendency to bounce off, particularly against things like Death Guard, where the extra bit of toughness really causes them some difficulties, but they also struggle to reliably get through like a 5-man squad of assault intercessors, for example. Yes, they'll win the fight. Yes, they'll probably kill several of them, but they won't do enough to just get rid of that unit and be able to move on. Because that's ideally what I think I'd like to do is they hit, they clear off a unit of 5 guys or whatever, even if it's in power armor, and then next turn they're able to move on, engage somebody else without getting bogged down in more protracted fights, which allows the enemy to redirect resources into them. They are, however, really cool models. I did like them. They were a bit harder to paint than perhaps I anticipated because there is an awful lot of detail on those models. Yeah, fun models, look nice in the army. I will definitely carry on using them in some extent when my Chaos Space Marines next take the field, but I just need to revise how I use them and think a bit more about how I can support them. I suppose the obvious candidate might be a Master of Possession, but the lack of pace a Master of Possession has means they'll struggle to keep up, and they're probably better supporting other units anyway, such as the Obliterators. So just my initial thoughts. Am I missing something? Is there a particular use? Perhaps I should be doubling up my units of 5 and just making one big unit of 10. Is that the way forward? Do let me know. Otherwise, thank you very much for dropping by. This is Return to the Old World. Have a great day.